We are 1 week out from the 2025 Masters CrossFit Games. Hang out with me today. It's a Friday. It's the last big day of preparation, and there's just so much to do. But first things first, we got to do our capacity session this morning. People ask what I've changed in the past year about my training, and one of the things that was kind of a big change actually was discovering that I could make the second session, my sort of capacity session, much more machine-based in order to minimize the wear and tear on my body, but still have significant benefits. You know, I really like having 2 sessions a day. It helps me build a lot more capacity, and it doesn't take it that much time. The second session is really simple to warm up. There isn't a ton of things I have to do to warm up to get on a machine like a bike, ski, rower. Running, I warm up a little bit more, for sure. Opposed to if I had a barbell, I had barbell work or muscle up work or something like that, I'd have significant warm up to do before doing something like that. And I found that if I've got a very potent primary session covering all of the bases that I want to cover on that particular day, and my second session builds capacity on a machine, and I feel good. I don't feel nearly as beat up. I'm accomplishing all that I want in a training day while minimizing, like long-term damage. So I want to do this for the long term. I actually had a conversation yesterday. Someone was like, hey, when are you going to retire? Like John Elway didn't play football forever. Well, John Elway didn't have age groups, right? That's the coolest thing about CrossFit competition. I'm 49. This is my last year in this division, and I hope I win next week. That's my goal, my aim. And then I'll be in a new division next year, 50 to 54, bumping up to a different group of competitors. It's kind of exciting, kind of fun. So yeah, back to it. So I've been training very hard for a number of weeks. In this last cycle, we did a 3-week push, 1 week pullback, and then this is the second week of a 2-week push as we next start to taper into the CrossFit Games week. But the thing that's funny is the week before the games, we start to actually pull back about 7-8 days ahead of the first event and dial back some volume. The challenge is that they've been releasing workouts and we want to test them. So we're testing these workouts, but not at 100% because that's a ton of output, that's a ton of intensity. So earlier this week, Monday, Tuesday, still in the training window, I pushed a few of the events to test them out, feel what the stimulus was for those events, pushed really hard, which was kind of fun. And then Wednesday, we have another event, but it's time to actually start dialing it down. So tested an event, lots of burpees, sandbag carries at about 80-90% effort. Now it's Friday. I've got to test one of the biggest events. It's actually the most volume, I think, in an event. And it's an 18-minute AMRAP. And I'm going to give it a go at about 80-90%. Just want to feel what's going on with that workout. But at the same time, we're trying to walk that fine line between getting some work done, not doing too much, and certainly not overdoing it and getting injured. So today I'll actually do some clean and jerk testing, but won't go to max or anything like that. Just do some testing to feel the stimulus of that because we have a max clean and jerk next week. And tomorrow, we feel like there's probably going to be one more workout. The final workout might be released today. There's only one workout they've got to share with us, and that will be it. If they share it, then we have to do some testing of it tomorrow. But otherwise, tomorrow is a pretty dialed back day. Sunday, probably take a long walk or a hike. Maybe spend some time on the stairs here. Monday's a travel day. Tuesday, we'll actually do a bit of a shakeout session with all of the Boulder athletes in Columbus. It'll be primarily on machines, just getting the blood flowing. And I'll try to keep the blood flowing almost every day in some form or fashion by taking a walk or whatever. Monday, even while it's a travel day, I'll try to get a good walk in. But Tuesday, shakeout session on some machines up in Columbus. Wednesday is registration day. Spend a little time in the warm-up area if it's open. Maybe pick up a barbell and move through some of the things. So what I like to do, actually, the day before a competition, if the warm-up area is open, is I'll actually do a mental walkthrough of a number of events. It's pretty fun. I'll document that next week. And then Thursday's go time. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, competition time. So it's coming. I get excited and I have to figure out how to sleep when I'm excited. I haven't gotten good sleep in the last couple of days because I've been thinking about all this stuff so much. Just doing a little red light post training this morning. And I was thinking about, like, am I more excited or more nervous for the games this year than any other year? And this is my 7th CrossFit Games. And I would say no, I am just as nervous as the first time I went to the games in 2018. I'm just as nervous. I'm just as excited. I'm excited to see all my friends. I'm excited to go out there and compete. I'm excited for the adrenaline of that. I'm also so nervous. I'm always super nervous going into the games. It's not like I walk in there as I'm the champ and I'm just going to come in here and destroy everyone. Like, every year is a huge challenge, and there are no guarantees whatsoever that this is something that I'm going to crush. There's no guarantees that I'll win this. I'm trained. I'm well prepared. I'll be visualizing my way through the workouts multiple times. I'm trying not to do that right when I'm going to bed. It's a little bit of an adrenaline dump, but I'll be very ready. I'm very well prepared. I'm very fit, but I got to go out there and just execute really well. It has to go like almost perfect, like it always does. Very, very few mistakes, if any, like ideally no mistakes. So nervous and excited, yes, is the answer to both. The question that often gets asked, like, what do I eat, the week of training as I'm preparing for training? Well, I eat the same thing almost every day, 365 days a year, pretty much. I am having some sort of carbohydrate like rice with a little bit of cheese and yogurt for breakfast, and I'm doing the same thing for lunch. Then I'm having a more well-rounded dinner with normally a pound of red meat, if I can do that, 3/4 pound to a pound, a carb source like potatoes or rice, and maybe something green on my plate if we have something fresh. That's kind of fun. But that's basically what I eat every day. And I'll eat that this week, I'll eat it this weekend, I'll eat it next week as I'm preparing for the games. And even at the games, I'll try to stick to that regimen for the most part. On day one, we get up, we run 7K at like 9 in the morning. And then we do a max clean and jerk right around dinner time. So I'll actually get up, eat breakfast, which would be more than I normally do before a first session. Get up, eat breakfast, go do that 7K run, go back to the hotel, chill out quite a bit of the day actually, and fuel up. Rice, yogurt, keeping it really simple. Then we'll go do a max clean and jerk, and then after that I'll have a dinner that we're gonna take. So I am staying in a hotel, not an Airbnb, so I'm not gonna be cooking my own meals, which is not ideal, but I wanted to be connected to the convention center. It's just easier for everything with our family and everything. So yeah, I am going to be cooking a bunch of meat this weekend, pounds and pounds and pounds, and freezing it, then taking it there in a Yeti cooler. We'll probably have some dry ice in there to keep it frozen. And then each day we'll thaw out, the requisite amount of meat and for the day, and I'll eat that for dinner. It won't be, anything super amazing. Like, it's not an amazing meal, but it's normal for me, and I want to keep things as normal for my body as possible while I'm out there. So that's nutrition. Now I'm going to head to the gym. I'm going to get some training done. So I did hit the clean and jerk I wanted to hit today. So that's great. Moved on to front squats, and it was 3 waves of front squats. Did one front squat, fine. Second front squat, just felt weird, and I don't need to feel weird on squats. They're kind of heavy, but like, I'm just counting my blessings that everything feels good, and I'm gonna, I think, move on. I may do squats. I don't know. I think I'm gonna move on. Nope, I'm gonna move on. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm plenty strong. It's always hard to know what to do, but I'm good. I've done plenty of squats today. At this point, I'm about to do a workout that has some pistol squats in it. Right now, the ultimate goal is to be testing some things to maintain my fitness 1 week out, actually taper, let my body start to recover. And if something feels weird, you just don't do it. Like, there's no risk right now in this situation. I'm not gonna gamble on anything. another workout tested, and it went really well. I liked it, felt good all around. It's going to be a big capacity push. It's just grit. I think it's a lot of grit on how deep you go in that workout. So everything felt okay. I've got to check some standards to make sure everything was done to the standard. I mean, I got the kettlebells on my shoulders, which is the standard. I need to make sure the pistols are to the standard with where I have my hands on the kettlebell and all that stuff, but that was a good test. So today, overall, was a great training day. Recovery-wise, I woke up in the red, and I used my watch to track that. I use an app called Athletic and Bevel. So ironically, Athletic shows me 29% recovered, so in the red. Bevel shows me 56% recovered, so in the yellow. But after a rest day, I should be in the green. Now, it's just time to refuel, get some good food in me, get some good sleep tonight, good sleep over the weekend, and be ready for next week. We're going to test one more workout tomorrow, the final workout since it was announced. And again, give it like a good 90%, 80-90% effort, not 100%, not maxing out, but it's a good day of training. Yeah, got some good dudes training with me here. Good day. So here's the workouts we're going to see next week at the 2025 Masters CrossFit Games. 25.1 is a 7K run. This is just over 4 miles, 4.18 miles, I think. And this is the second time that we've seen a big run like this in a CrossFit Games event. In 2021, we started with a 4-mile run as the first event. So I've done something like this before as the opening workout of the games. And what I really like about it is that it's this long, enduring run. It's not something that requires a ton of precision. You don't have to execute perfectly. It's not super fast. So you're not like all jittery. It's a great way to open an event like that. You know, you have all these nerves, all this adrenaline. And the worst thing that could happen is that you come out a little bit hot on a 7K run. Maybe you run the first 400 too hot, but you have, 6,600 meters to correct that. So it's a great way to open it. This is offsite. It's a nice cross-country event. Or I actually don't know if it's a cross-country event. I don't know what we're running on, but we're running a 7K. So I really like that as an opener. We'll do that fairly early, like 9 a.m. on Thursday, the first day of competition. And then the second event that day for me, and for all of us, but mine's at like 6 o'clock that night, is a 1 rep max clean and jerk. You'll have 4 attempts. It's time. You have 20 seconds to try your max clean and jerk. Then you have a 90-second break and then 20 seconds of effort, 90-second break. You go through that and you have 4 attempts to build to your 1 rep max clean and jerk. So that's exciting too. It's nice to have that monostructural long piece and then a max lift on day 1. The rest of the weekend is just straight up CrossFit. 25.3 is Friday's the second day of the competition, and that's the workout that I just tested in the gym today. 60 calorie row, 50 kettlebell hang cleans, 40 toes to bar, 30 kettlebell thrusters, 20 alternating weighted pistol squats, and this is an 18-minute AMRAP. So if you get through 1 round, you go into the next round and try to get as many rounds as you can. If anybody can get through the second round, that'd be amazing in that 18 minutes. So this is kind of a longer AMRAP style workout. It's definitely got a lot of volume to it, so a lot of grit. You're in that like 18-minute time frame. Like you can't go all out. If you go all out on this thing, you're gonna burn up before you get into, past the 10-minute mark. You still have 8 more minutes to go after that. So this is one of those workouts where there's gonna be strategic breakup strategy, strategic pacing, just riding that line of too hard, too big of sets. You wanna watch out for all of that. So I'll have a breakup strategy in mind. This is one of those workouts where you may have to do something like, take a step forward into the next box. So sometimes like, in 50 kettlebell cleans, you might have to move forward every 25. So that'll actually affect your breakup strategy as you work through that. So that's a pretty fun and quite challenging event. That'll leave us sore the next day, which is a good thing. The second workout on that Friday, 25.4, fourth workout, is a 9-minute time cap. We've got 35 GHD sit-ups, 16 burpees over the bag. Bar facing burpees? This is sandbag facing burpees. You have to face your bag and do burpees over the bag. Then 150-foot sandbag carry in the bear hug position. So GHD sit-ups, burpees over the sandbag, 150-foot sandbag carry. Then 25 GHDs, then 16 burpees, then a 90-foot sandbag carry, 15 GHDs, 16 burpees over the bag, and a 30-foot bag carry. So that's the workout as written. For my age group, the only difference is 30, 20, 10 on the GHD sit-ups, which I actually wish there were more GHD sit-ups. The fact that we're only doing 60 total GHD sit-ups, like I actually prefer the 35, 25, 15. I think more volume there is better, but this is really just a full-on go as fast as you can type workout. GHDs as quick as you can, burpees as fast as you can, but there's also like this careful, element, like if you go too hard, you will run into a brick wall at some point on this workout. And so what's the right pace to go on this? I think everything is certainly as unbroken as possible. Ideally, the sandbag carries are unbroken. That's a pretty long carry at the beginning. And when you're holding it right here, if you've never done sandbag carries with like an elevated heart rate after burpees, ooh, it's really tough. It's just you're just not breathing, and it really feels like you're drowning. It's actually a really tough sensation, but it's something that we practice all the time with Boulder Athlete. Like, every Wednesday we're moving objects in a horizontal distance. So we are often pushing sleds. We're often carrying sandbags in a bear hug position or up on our shoulders. So we're well practiced for this. This should be a good event for me. Should be a good event for all of our Boulder athletes. That wraps up Friday. Saturday, we have 3 events. 25.5, we kick it off with an 11-minute time cap. This looks like 2 minutes of work and 1 minute of rest. 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, and you're gonna go through that 4 times. So you have 4 sort of windows of 2 minutes of work. And in those windows, there's this buy-in. So for my age group, I've got 16 handstand push-ups, 16 calorie echo bike, and then as many double unders as possible in that 2-minute window. And then you rest a minute. And then I've got 15 handstand push-ups, 15 calories on the echo bike, as many double unders as I can in the remaining time of those 2 minutes. And then 14 double unders, 13 double unders. The workout stops when you hit 300 double unders. And this is really fun. In testing, you find out that this is really smart. It's a challenging workout, and you have to really push everything. Push the handstand push, but you gotta push that echo bike, and then just hang on the double unders. So this is a massive intensity spike and then a minute rest, and then an intensity spike, a minute rest. And over those 3 or 4 minutes, it gets really spicy, really spicy. Fun event. It's not a ton of volume, but it's very, did I say spicy? Because it is spicy. 25.6, our second workout on Saturday, is 1000% max effort, max speed. It's a 3-minute AMRAP. You have 3 axle bar deadlifts with, for my age group, 295 pounds on that deadlift, and then an 80-foot sled push, 40 feet down, 40 feet back. So they tell us the weight of the deadlift, 295 pounds, like I said. They don't tell us the weight of the sled. But the fact that it's a 3-minute AMRAP and it's only 3 deadlifts, I think it's a light sled that we are running across, turning around, running back, doing deadlifts, run across, run back, deadlifts, down, back, deadlifts. That's how we practice. We practiced it with light sleds that you could run with, and it is tough. That's how I would design a workout. So we'll find out next week the specifics on this one. They haven't told us that sled weight, but I would bet that it's a light sled that is going to require us to run, to sprint with that sled within reason, knowing that it's 3 minutes. We're not sprinting for 3 minutes, but we're really pushing hard for 3 minutes. So this is just a fire-breathing 3-minute workout. And then we finish off Saturday. Final workout is maybe one of the toughest workouts. We have a 10-minute time cap, 5 rounds for time. So if you can finish this under the time cap and get a time that's a good time, you're gonna win this event. So we've got 5 rounds, 6 ring muscle-ups, 9 overhead squats, 145 pounds for the overhead squats for my division, 12 box jump overs. This is a 30-inch box for my division. So in testing, the ring muscle-ups were okay, felt pretty good. The overhead squats got a little challenging, especially into the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. This is one of those workouts that just builds and builds and builds. From the beginning, you do that first round, you're like, woo, this is hard. You gotta hang on to that as that heart rate climbs over those 5 rounds. The box jump overs light your heart on fire, light your legs on fire, get you breathing so hard. You get back to the ring muscle-ups and you're like, I can't breathe. So you're trying to breathe while you're doing ring muscle-ups, and then you're doing overhead squats, trying to breathe some more. And then it's back to box jump overs, which just steal all of your breath while you're doing them. But what I mean by steal your breath, that your heart rate rages so high, it doesn't have time to really come down. So this is just, heart rate looks like this. It goes up and up and up and up and up over the 5 rounds of this workout. So that gets us to Saturday night. There's a cutoff that night. So if you're not in the top certain percentage in each one of your divisions, you don't make it to the last day. So there is a cut, and they go to last day. They have 1 workout on the last day for us. It's the finale. They just released it today, so I'm gonna test this out tomorrow. I really love this workout. Time cap is 14 minutes. You've got 4 rounds, 2 rope climbs, awesome, 6 wall walks, that's a bit of a shoulder fire, and 4 snatches. At my division, 165 pound snatches. I wouldn't have minded if these were heavier snatches, but 165 is, I think, gonna be pretty heavy at this stage of the competition on the last day. Also, when you mix the rope climb, that is a pull. You've got this pushing with your arms on the wall walks. Then you've got the snatches, this dynamic movement. 4 rounds of this is going to be interesting. So I really don't know what to expect until I test this, but I expect a high heart rate. I expect shoulders to be on fire. I actually also expect the core to be really taxed. From rope climbs into those wall walks to the snatches, the core is going to get really fatigued. So those are the workouts. Those are my thoughts on the workouts. I would love to share with all of you my strategies but I am trying to win the CrossFit Games next week. So I'm gonna keep some of those strategies to myself. I'll share what I can, tips and tricks with our Boulder athletes, because we have 20 Boulder athletes there, and a few of them are competing in my division. So I hope to see a lot of Boulder athletes up on the podium. I hope to see a nice, safe, fun CrossFit Games event. We also are there with the teenagers, so it's an age group CrossFit Games. We've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 35 plus, all competing together in Columbus. So it's gonna be a great weekend. I appreciate you following along this journey. I will document and update as much as I can next week. Follow on Instagram, follow on YouTube. Wherever I share, I'll share in as many places as I can next week. And appreciate all of the well wishes that you've given me over the past few weeks. We're gonna have fun out there. As always, guys, if you have questions, concerns, anything like that, just leave a comment. I love responding to comments in this YouTube channel, and your best days are ahead of you. Fortune favors the bold. See you next time.